Welcome back to the season 2 finale of the House of Faith and Fashion. This has been such a meaningful visit so far with amazing guests and visitors who happen to be friends of mine, but the fun's not over yet. You always want to know who does my hair. So visiting us on the House of Faith and Fashion right now is entrepreneur, CEO of Zelda Hair Shop and Power Life Coaching Services. Like, she takes care of your whole head. Welcome, Zelda Lebovits.
Thank you. Hi, Toby.
Hi.
So
How
nice.
are you?
Good. Thank God.
Good. Well, let's dive right into your hair company, Zelda. What inspired you to do this Zelda hair?
So I started this company when I was really young, 22 years old. I was a new mom, and I grew up Orthodox, so that's all I knew. I just knew about hair covering and wigs. We get married and we wear wigs, and it wasn't at all something that I thought I would ever be into it. I wasn't like the one playing with hair or growing up like with dolls. It wasn't something that I was like busy with. But when I got married, I remember like feeling so like that first initial wig that I put on myself was such a huge change.
Yeah.
And I didn't ever consider like how much of an identity the hair was until that point. And so when I was married, after wearing a wig for a few years, I got into the business when I was on maternity leave from my other job, and I had some time on my hands, and I was really like looking for a change within myself, like after I had my baby, of like I don't feel like myself, wearing these wigs that I didn't feel like myself, and putting on a new wig and like reshaping it, making it feel like myself, like bringing
Sure.
that youthful part of myself out, really
Yeah.
like changed something inside me. And I felt like I needed to bring that aspect to women in my community.
That's amazing. And I want to tell you, I happen to be one of those women in your community, and I really appreciate it. But it, like you said, I just want to explain, it's not only about glamorous hair, but within Orthodox Judaism, this is part of the process of a married woman has to cover her hair. But you wanted to make it more you. So how do you translate that into your customer? Like, how do you deliver that message to the Zelda customer?
Yeah, so there's like there's this universal concept of like beauty and what we want to look like, or sometimes clients come in with like pictures from magazines.
Right.
But the essential part that I try to exude and I try to converse with my clients about is what makes, and even my daughters, by the way, I have this conversation with my daughters all the time. It's like, how do there's something inside you that lights up when you wear something and it feels good inside. It's not about anybody else. It's not about approval or validation. It's about like that feeling, that confidence, that you feel like yourself, like there's an authentic expression of you that comes through, that lights up. And that's what I try to get with the wigs when a woman feels like herself. So whether it doesn't even matter if it's the exact color that she used to be or not. It's about what makes you feel like you, like the best version of you. And for some women, it's every day something else. They want to change it up.
Mm-hmm.
Today they want to be blonde, tomorrow they want to be darker, and then for other women, they want to have that same look, the same conservative look. Everyone has a different style, a different method, and I try to bring that out in each client.
Well, I think that you do. Certainly for me, as one of your consumers, whatever you want to call me, fan based, I don't know, fangirl. You've done that for me, but you've also done that for me. Hair loss hair covering is not just a spiritual issue. As women, we go through different phases in our life. Certainly for me, as a cancer survivor, and how you helped me during my chemo process of losing my identity in my hair, and your wig was part of my two things. It was one of me to really kind of hang on to my identity and maintain my identity through the process. And that spoke a your wig spoke a different language to somebody like me, as opposed to just the younger consumers, or maybe your everyday consumers, Jewish, people that just cover their hair. So how do you explain your success of basically you help a woman just feel better about herself, her identity, and how she presents herself to the world? I mean, you have a big role in that. It's not just a wig, so I'm confirming it.
Right.
But can you go deeper with that?
Yeah, it's fascinating because on the one hand, it feels like it's something so external and something maybe even superficial, like it's hair, just hair, but it's so deep and it really touches to our core. It's really, in a way, even the essence of femininity. And I think only when you lose it, or when you have to cover it, or when you can't reveal it, do you really feel what it is. When you
Yes,
have it, like everything, right? When you have it, you don't really necessarily appreciate it. But when you don't have it, whether it's because of hair loss, because of a sickness, or because you have to cover it, then you
right.
really understand what it truly is. And hair is so sensitive. It's so personal. And within the Jewish religion, and not just Jewish, by the way, it's a universal cultural, globally, a lot of different cultures, we have tremendous emphasis around the hair, around hair covering. And
Yes,
it's something that's recognized everywhere. But it's something so essential to the feminine. And however a woman decides to cover or reveal or connect to her hair covering or to her hair, it's something that, to me, as I'm, when I started this, it was just purely business, and now
right.
it's becoming so deeply connected to my soul mission.
Yes.
And I realized that I'm really starting to touch the souls of women with their hair covering, because so much is revealed to us through this process.
Well, like I keep saying, I'm repeating myself, but you're actually talking to one of them, or we're having a conversation. So that's why it's so real for me. But you have pop-up shops everywhere. How does somebody find you in all the different places that you go
Yeah.
to? You travel all over the world.
Yeah, so I love traveling and meeting different women, and I think that also, like, connects back to what I'm saying, that you could be from any part of the world. You could be really covering your hair, looking for a wig for whatever reason, and it's
Right.
something that connects all women.
Yep.
So I'm actually going to London and Jerusalem and Paris next week, and I pop up all over. I meet women from all walks of life. I usually connect with local hairstylists, and then I, have like a trade show, a pop up shop,
Right.
where I show them, the pieces. And my newest collection is actually very cool because it's very natural, but it's also affordable
Oh,
in the
wow.
so
That's great.
yeah, it's really it. I try to get that, like, sweet spot between super glamorous and natural, because you
Hmm.
want the natural hair movement and
Right.
the depth, but you also want, the affordability.
Absolutely. It can be a very expensive venture having your hair. But listen, hair in general is very expensive. Let's not play it down. Go get your hair colored or cut anywhere, or we've been indoctrinated into spending a lot of money on our hair.
Yeah,
So that's okay.
I think it might be cheaper in the long run because
Yes.
you don't have to get it cut every month. Or
Right. Or colored for that matter, or cover your grays or any of that other kind of stuff. Exactly. Exactly. But so where could somebody find you?
So the best place is on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. Zelda
Okay.
Zelda Hair. And yeah, I love to connect about, all the different types of wigs, and also about the deeper aspects of wigs.
Yes, you really get to know the person, and you're really, because of your coaching, which we probably have to come back to the show and talk about that. You really take care of the whole head, inside and out, for a woman,
I think
right?
a lot of women have like therapy sessions in their hairstylist.
Yes, exactly. That's the person you can most confide in, is with your hairdresser, right? So
Exactly.
you do that. Well, I really thank you, but before you leave, I've got rapid fire questions that have to do with faith. Okay? So, and I know you're going to give me really good answers. So, Zelda, how much faith do you need to be in business?
All of the faith. It's all faith. It really is all faith, I would say. Obviously, you got to put in the work, and you got to,
Right,
have discipline, and you have to have all of all of the actions.
right,
But once you do everything that's in your control, everything else is faith.
right. So, do you think that your talents are God-given?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I see. I love your answers. Now you're going to love this, but please describe how a person should dress to a house of worship.
So I think dressing appropriately wherever you're going, it doesn't matter where you're going, whether you're going to, God forbid, a funeral, whether you're going to a garden party, whether you're going to, your children's preschool party. Everything has a dress code. Everything should be, or if your mother-in-law likes you to dress a certain way to make her feel comfortable in her house, you wanna make her feel a little bit better.
Oh,
Um,
I love
and
that.
that's something that I struggled with in the beginning of my marriage, and it's something that I enjoy now, because when you start to really, when that's real freedom, in my opinion, is when you don't have to put yourself, project yourself into every position, into every stories. If you're able to just be like, how does this place want me to be? How could I best support this place?
Wow.
And that to me is really being there in support of the environment, rather than how could I take from this place.
So instead of being self-focused, you'd rather just be supportive of the environment that you're at. Yeah, that's a great answer, Zelda.
And
But
obviously, you have to be comfortable within yourself. You want to
yeah, of
feel good
course.
in your skin. It's always a balance, but definitely, yeah, outer focus, and that's the best way to feel less self-conscious. Also, is like when we just take the focus away from ourselves.
So one last question. If you could design a Zelda prayer for the world today, what might that look like?
I think that would be the ability for humans, for all of us, for women, to be able to see ourselves in others, whatever someone else is going through, to really see ourselves in that position, to see a part of us that went through that could be in that position. And I think having that compassion and that empathy will make the world a lot better.
See, you're not just a good wig maker, you're just a great person, which is why I love you. So thank you for being part of my season finale. This has been a great visit. And hey,
You look
I
fabulous.
don't go
Always.
anywhere without my Zelda wigs. I tell everyone, they lean over, they whisper in my ear, tell me who does her hair. That's a Zelda. I'm like Zelda. I'm the queen of Zeldas.
You look
So
gorgeous.
thank you so much, Zelda. I really appreciate it. And I want to take the time and thank to all my visitors for rocking with me today.